Good morning, friends. Today on Gardening with Creekside, I am going to show you 3 different ways to create fall containers. One, super easy, the very best gardening hack I could ever teach you. 2, we are going to do a container that already has an existing shrub in it. We're going to add to it to create a fun fall interest. And then number 3, we're going to start with a container blank slate that we're going to put some really fun colors in there that are going to last us throughout the entire season. So stay tuned as we do these 3 fun fall containers. My friends, the first container we are going to do together, this is literally the best gardening hack I can ever teach you. It applies for fall, spring, summer, it does not matter. I want you to go to your local garden center, wherever it is that you love to buy plants. I want you to find a container, a potted plant. Today we're going to do this absolutely stunning, gorgeous Belgian mum. But you could do a single specimen like this mum. You can do it with a hanging basket. You can do it with a mixed container that is already pre-made. It does not matter. You're gonna buy the one that you love. Bring it home. Find your container that you want to put it in. Today we have the aquapot. We have 2 of these aquapots to this entrance of the signature garden. I have completely emptied them out. So this is that traditional aquapot, right? Self-watering container, and it is completely clean of all soil. Get your favorite potting soil. I only use the Proven Winners potting soil. That is what works best for us here in our North Carolina Zone 8A garden. So we're going to get that, and you're going to fill your container full of fresh soil, especially if the the plants that you just took out were completely like root bound. Because with us, a long growing season, our roots will completely take over this pot. I pulled out some caladiums. They're not gonna last. In fact, they look terrible because we've had nights in the 30s. The roots went through the entire pot. Take out that soil, let's put in some fresh. So that's what we're gonna do. If you've never used an aquapot before, or just as a gentle reminder, always want to take that fill tube and push lots of soil in there. Now, I did not fill this one completely all the way because my mum is so huge. So what I'm going to do, this is another great little hack, is we are going to take this mum out of the pot ever so carefully. She's a big one. And we're gonna get the pot, all right? Brenna thinks she can have the pot. She can't have the pot right now. She can have it in a minute. Put down your mum. And we're going to pack soil all around this. All right, so what I've done is I put the container in here, and I know the container's a little taller than the aquapot, y'all, it's fine. Took my potting soil, pushed it all the way around. That way I can wiggle squiggle, pull this out, and the idea is Brenna can then have the pot if she wants it. She may not want it. She's getting a little older. She's slowing down in her old age. And then I'm going to pull out just a little bit of this soil here on the bottom, put it on the side, just because this is a shallow aquapot. And then you take your pot, your plant, and you'll wiggle it down in there, right? So you can do this with a hanging basket. You can do this with any kind of potted plant. It is nice and snug in there. There's a little bit of a lip because this was such a tall mum pot in here with the aquapot. Literally fills up the entire container. This is a great, easy hack to get an instant container done with gorgeous color. All we have to do now is water it. By putting that fresh soil in there, this is gonna last as long as absolutely possible. So we've got this one done, we've got another one to do, and then we're gonna move on, and I'm gonna show you how to do a container that already has an existing shrub in it. The second type of container that we are going to do today is one that has an existing shrub plant in it. This is just a great old rosemary. This rosemary was here all season long, all summer long. We had some super bells in here, all sorts of great things. Now this is another aquapot. We use a lot of aquapots here at Creekside because they are just great to use and give their plants tons of water. What we need to do first is we're going to leave this alone. I'm not going to give it a really good shape because this is the wrong time of year. I'm just going to let it be free form. It'll be fine come spring as we go into the growing season. Then you can really prune it if you like. What I do need to do is to actually remove some of the soil that is in the container where I'm going to be planting my annuals, because I had super bells in here and I had the Dichondra Silver Falls. Now, if you've ever grown Dichondra Silver Falls, to know the plant is to love the plant. However, she's a vigorous plant and I have got tons of roots in here. So like that is a whole clump that has nothing but roots in it. Most of these roots that I'm getting, because I'm going on the perimeter of the container, are going to be those roots from either the super bells or that Silver Falls. Are there some rosemary roots in here? Absolutely. Is it going to hurt that I am pruning away some of those roots? Nope, not at all. It's called root pruning and it will be just fine. But if I want my new plantings to be successful, then I've got to give them plenty of fresh soil so that their roots can get nice and established and be very happy. So I'm just going to dig out some of this old soil full of roots and put some fresh soil in, and then we'll put the annuals in. All right, so what I have done, right, remove some of that soil so we have some nice fresh soil for the new annuals to go in, and then I applied biotone. I put biotone in here as opposed to not putting it in with the mums. The mums are temporary, right? At the most, they're gonna be there 4 weeks, 5 weeks, a freeze comes and they're done. What I'm putting in here some of these can last throughout the entire season. So I want to give them a great head start, and then of course, it will help rosemary. So we're gonna have some fun with this one. I have one sweet little pepper plant left. This is a great ornamental pepper, gives us really fun interest. I thought this color would be neat against the rosemary here. And how you plant your container is all gonna depend on how you're gonna see it. This one's interesting because basically you see it from, I don't know, almost, 270 degrees, right? I mean, you really could see it from 360, but I'm gonna kind of plant it as if this were the front. So I'm gonna take my pepper, and this is going to be my tallest of my annuals that I'm putting in here, and I'm gonna put it kind of close to the center, and I'm just going to snug it in there, right? So the peppers right now are bright yellow. They'll turn to another color, whether it's red or orange later on in the season. So they are right there. I'm gonna stick that guy right there. Now, next, we're gonna go with stick with that kind of that yellow and purple theme in this container. So what we're gonna use is we've got our pepper plant. We have got some sweet little deep purple violas. These are gonna go in here. This is called penny violet. I've got 4 of them. We're gonna tuck those in there to kind of carry on that theme of purple. I've got some purple cabbages. I've got 2 little small purple cabbages, and then something to trail, fun contrast, I have got creeping Jenny. So basically we're gonna kind of plant this. I may grab another creeping Jenny. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But basically I'm gonna kind of plant it a little bit symmetrical, put a cabbage on each side, put 2 of the violets in here, and just kind of spread it around a little bit to bring a nice pop of color and accentuate this rosemary. All right, so our third and final pot, yet another aqua pot. I tell you, we love aqua pots around here, especially in those kind of out of way areas that are not near irrigation. Brand new complete pot, right? Empty. We just filled it with brand new soil, but there were no plants in here whatsoever. So this is going to be one that I'm trying to show you completely different ways to look at containers and just try fun new things. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to plant a shrub in this aqua pot. This is a Forever Goldie. Now, Forever Goldie is a beautiful, bright, chartreuse, evergreen. It is going to be a tree. It is not going to be able to be in here long term, but for a season it will be great. You can absolutely plant small trees in your containers, especially for those winter seasons. It just brings a fun evergreen interest to your containers. Now, if you want to know, Forever Goldie is going to be about, in 5 years, about 6 feet tall and 2 feet wide. Relatively slow grower. So we're going to have this as a fun interest. I've been wanting to use Velvet Elvis Plectranthus ever since they arrived at the garden center. This is my opportunity to use this. This is a beautiful, nice, dark foliage plant that has those beautiful, bright lavender flowers on it. This is the time of year where Velvet Elvis is going to be blooming. It will not carry us through all winter. So this is going to be a fall flowering annual. So we're going to add this next to the Forever Goldie. Now, to take its place when it goes away, we're going to plant a Ms. America mustard. We're going to take this Ms. America mustard and we're going to plant her right in front of Velvet Elvis. This way, once Velvet Elvis kind of peters out with the first hard freeze, Ms. America is going to be very happy and take its place. You're not going to notice later on that Velvet Elvis is gone. So this will kind of take its place, but in the meantime, they complement each other really, really well. So we've got that. Now, I've got to have a trailer, so I've got 2 fun variegated ivies. Now, y'all, I only use ivies in containers in the fall because ivies can be quite invasive if you leave them in the landscape unchecked. So this is only when I use it for those fall containers. So we're going to stick these somewhere here in the front. I will probably plant them together to give me some nice interest. That way they will trail over. And then, of course, you've got to have some more color, right? Some more flowers that will go through the entire season. What do we use? We're going to use violas. To carry on the theme of that bright yellow, we are going to use some really sweet bright yellow violas. This particular one is the Sorbet Tiger Eye. Nice, rich, bright yellow, but it has like a deep purple veining in it. It is stunning. And when it gets a little bit warm, the temperature gets a little warm, it has a sweet fragrance to it. So this is going to be our pop of color that will last us throughout the entire season, all the way through till spring. So we're going to have flowers non-stop. So don't know exactly how all that's going to turn out. Let's just have some fun, get these babies planted. Fresh soil in the entire container. I'm going to put biotone in the top, and then I'm going to start with my biggest pieces, and then I will add in those smaller pieces. All right, my friends, so we have got all 3 planters. They are completely planted. They are happy. So I'm going to give you a really quick little overview of them, all nice and happy in their new home. I'm loving this one. I love all of them, but this one is just such a fun one, especially with that bright blue aqua pot right there. y'all, this is gonna go throughout the entire season, right? It brings a fun little pop of color to this flower bed. Don't ever be worried about adding containers directly to a flower bed. It brings a whole nother pop of color and interest to this space. Between the Velvet Elvis and Forever Goldie, giving us those gorgeous color combinations that contrast the texture difference between that Forever Goldie and then Ms. America, like lovely. So when Velvet Elvis does kind of quote disappear for the season, Ms. America is going to shine and take her place. You will never even know that she was there come the spring. And then those sweet little sorbet tiger eye violas are just lovely. Give us that nice little sweet pop of color. They are going to fill in quite nicely. So between that and the ivy, they are going to really kind of give us a little bit of height. And when I say height, I mean like at the most like 6 to 8 inches, right? So they're going to give it that nice kind of fullness and really fill in the bottom here and be covered with flowers all the way through the spring. And then of course the ivy is just a whole little fun trailing interest on that. So we have got this container. Now let me go show you the other two in all of their glory. We'll head on over, we'll just walk. We will walk and talk. The sun, this is a full sun container. The Plectranthus is going to be a little bit more on the, it can do a little bit more shade. So while it's shady right now, it's going to get some afternoon sun. It should be just fine, especially being in that aqua pot with all of that great water available to it. And then look at this. I love it, y'all. This is when mums are in all of their glory, right? 'Tis the season for mums. This is why we love them. They bring that nice, lovely pop of color. Now, both of these, they are the same variety, and they are a type of Belgian mum. So if you want to plant them directly in the ground, you absolutely can. These will be perennials. You just need to get them in the ground before like it gets really cold. That way their roots can get established. But I mean, look at that. Just a lovely big pop of color. Obviously these are going to be in full bloom right now, and then of course choosing that yellow makes a big impact from a distance, and it picks up on the Proven Winners Signature Garden sign. So it just really kind of draws everybody's eye to this entrance, and it's like, hey, look at us, aren't we pretty? Again, aqua pots, y'all, I'm telling you, they are a gardener's best friend. And then over here you can see the second pot that we did. Again, gotta love those aqua pots. And these two on the outer perimeters, they are in that same family. It's just that this one is the larger one, and then the one by the creek is considered like that smaller size. Those of you that have been with Creekside for a length of time might remember that these, I had two of these that were at the pergola, right? So we use these in front of the pergola, and then we switched them out to bring them here into the garden. But having the rosemary, which of course is a nice evergreen for me, the cabbages in here, I just love these cabbages. Remember, I put some in the container by the at the new terrace garden, and they have filled in so nicely, as have the peppers. So I have no doubt that they will do the same thing over here. And then of course having that nice purple viola next to the purple cabbage. Now you'll notice that your cabbages, of course the sun's not being our friend right now, but the cabbages will really get their intense color as the temperatures get cooler. So if yours are, this is showing right some of that purple, right? You've got some of that purple vein, but it's not in all of her glory. It's because we haven't had consistently cool weather. We've been down in the 30s a couple of times, but like this week is quite warm already. We're going like up into the 70s, and then the lows are in the 50s at night. So it's just going to take a little bit of time. So if you're not having a ton of color on your cabbages or your kales, just wait. It will come along, I promise. And so in no time at all, as those temperatures cool down, then they will color up for sure. So as always, we hope you have found this fun, informative, and inspirational. Y'all have an amazing day. Have fun planting those containers. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.